Will AI be taking our jobs away? If you are a UI or front-end developer, I'm afraid it will. But it'll also make everyone on the planet an app developer. You got it, you can also become an app developer. If you want to know how you can build an iOS app in 5 minutes or build a Twitter clone in 2 minutes without having any knowledge of coding in Swift or React, then this video is for you. What is up everyone, it's David, and in today's video we are diving into the world of web design with 3 incredible early stage AI tools called TLDRAW, Trace.ai and Screenshot to Code. These innovative AI tools are making waves, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on how they are changing the game. Alright, so first let's talk about TLDRAW. Now this is a powerful tool and is a collaborative digital whiteboard that allows users to create stunning designs with ease. It's got this intuitive interface and real-time collaborative feature, and now with TLDRAW you can have a team working together and bringing their creative designs and visions to life. However, the feature that I really want you to learn about in this video is called Make Real, that allows you to create a block-like design for a web component that you want to design for your web application. And by just clicking on Make Real, it'll make it happen. What it really does is it uses the OpenAI Assistant API, which takes this block design and then leverages GPT-4 Vision to convert the block design into a proper app component. Now, what you are going to see here is amazing. Let me show you how this works. Alright, so what you have to do is go to makereal.tlddraw.com and then put an OpenAI Assistant API over here. Once you've done that, actually select or create a block and then select it and click on Make Real. Here, I have just put this block together for writing a review and submitting it. As you can see, it's kind of created exactly what I wanted. Here's another example where I want username, password, and a login page for an app. And I put these icons of different, social media platforms together. I had this created previously, but again, I'm kind of making it live right now. As you can see, now you will see that it's exactly the same, although the icons are a little black, but it created exactly what we wanted it to in this, prototype block design that we have here. Here's another example where I'm actually looking at some exercise activity, and I have like activity for each day, move, exercise, stand, and I also created like this graph, and I said, okay, show me heart rate and things like that. But you see that it actually understood that it was a graph and put everything together. You can actually now go in and actually click on copy HTML by clicking on those 3 dots, and you can also click on a code sandbox and let the sandbox open up where you can actually go in and start tweaking this HTML code that has been produced. Pretty neat actually, and I feel like it's fantastic that we have this capability now, and TLDRAW really makes it exciting. Here's another example where I actually created an entire dashboard or a UI for a web app, where I have this company called joybeans.co, and I have this dashboard with graph and numbers and quick search. And as you can see, it created this amazing dashboard along with a line chart. Now look at that, exactly the same numbers. Only thing it got wrong was the quick search bar was not working, but everything else kind of worked without any issue. This is fantastic, and this is the power of TLDRAW. Next up, we have Trace.ai, and this cutting edge tool uses AI to build amazing iOS apps which are written in Swift with text to code. All you need to do is write a prompt for the kind of app you want to develop. However, there are levels to this game. The better your prompt, the better your app will look like. Let me show you how this works. Alright, so what we'll have to do is go to trace.zip and then create an account and click on create. As soon as you create, it's going to give you this dummy app called Hello World. You can go to the text prompt and actually start typing in whatever you want to develop. Now here I'm saying create a login page for an app named Faster. It's actually going to start coding this and going to start producing the code for an app. It actually will produce the app itself. Now we'll go back to the app and see if it's loading, and as you can see that within like a few minutes it created this app called Faster with a username, password, and a login. But this looks pretty basic and it's not really good, So I'm going to say change the text to green, and you can see that it'll change the text on another component to like Faster, for Faster to green, which is okay. Now, as I was saying, there are levels to this game, and that's what makes it really awesome. So what we're going to do is kind of delete all of this and put this new prompt which says like generate a mobile application with a login screen with the following features. Have a welcome message on top, fields for email address and password as placeholders, and then remember my checkbox, forgot password, a login button, options for login with Facebook, Google, Apple, each of them with respective logos, and don't have an account. If you don't have an account, just put sign up. And other instructions around color scheme, that should be green and white. Now it's actually going to start coding this requirement. As you can see, what I've done is said exactly what I wanted for the app, and you can see that now it's starting to create a Swift code for this app. And I kind of ran this a little bit, but as you can see, the code has been developed. And now if you go back and start saying, okay, I want to see this app, and actually created exactly what we wanted. Only thing is that it's kind of not laid out correctly. So I'm going to go in and say, okay, move everything to the middle of the screen, actually to the page. So that's what's going to happen here. And as you see, when we enter that, it's going to start fixing everything and start rewriting the code, kind of balance everything out. Now we'll see how this result kind of looks, and let it come. And it's funny that it shows these ads and game running around, kind of. That's how the loading page goes. But here you have it. Look at this. Welcome back came down. The entire login page looks great. Now this is actually pretty good. Imagine that we took like a few minutes just to develop this front end for this app, and it's actually Swift code. And I'm actually going to test it out a bit. Okay, I can type my name, and actually the password is actually hidden, so none of my letters are visible. So this is actually built into it, and I can go and check some buttons and see how it's working. The check mark for remember me is on and off, kind of works. Everything's great. Now this is really fantastic. I mean, look at this. I mean, I am really shocked by the result. Now let's level up a little bit more, and let's see if we can make something much more complex. All right, so this is a bigger prompt. Here I'm actually going to say I want a user interface of a news aggregation mobile app, and I want it to be in dark background with light text. The top should have a search bar. I should have topics and articles in your search bar. I'm saying you should have popular tags, tags like Friday morning, car story, proceed with latest news, a lot of information as to how I want to structure this app, And lastly, I'm going to say, give me a recommendation topic, and I should also have a, bottom navigation bar with icons for home, explore, coverage, saved, and profile. And again, the better your prompt is, the better the Trace AI or Trace.zip app kind of works. Now as you can see, it started putting together the Swift code, and again, this is fantastic. I mean, I actually have no experience coding in Swift. Again, it's not that complicated of language, but again, the idea is that you take the key ideas of what your app should look like and kind of start putting it together. And here the code has been put together, and actually let's go and see what's gonna happen. So we're gonna switch between the code soon, and let's go back and check how everything looks like. So this is a lot of code, and let's see, the app is downloading, installing, and look at that. I mean, this is an actual app. Look at that: home, explore, everything that you wanted, bookmarks, return. You have all of the information that you wanted, different examples, latest news, recommended topics. I mean, this is probably the closest or the best app I have built using Trace.ai. So this is really awesome, and I hope you guys like what we have created so far. Last but not least, let's talk about screenshot to code. Now this was a GitHub project I found initially on X, and I was kind of super skeptical of it. However, I got to play around with this, and I tested it, and I found the results to completely surprise me and shock me. This game-changing tool takes out the hassle of web design while allowing you to convert the screenshots for any page into a clean functional code. No more painstaking code from scratch. Just upload your design and let the screenshot to code app actually work and do the heavy lifting. Now let me show you how this works. Alright, to get access to this project, what you have to do is actually go to github.com and find this project called screenshot to code, and within that you will see a bunch of instruction on how this actually kind of works and latest updates and latest features on it. Now, one of the easiest way to kind of start accessing this is by actually clicking on screenshot2code.com and then create an account with your email. And once you agree to the terms, you're good to go. Now, once you go there, all you have to do is click on settings and actually add an OpenAI API key, or you can actually even buy credits. But once you've done that, put your API key and then select what kind of code, the language you want it to kind of generate. So here I'm selecting HTML plus Tailwind. I actually put a screenshot in. It's like a dashboard, and you can see that it's generating some code. Again, I mean, I was really surprised initially when I started generating this code. I was like, yeah, this doesn't look like what I want. But suddenly you will see that the app actually kind of puts together the CSS and the Tailwind code. And look at this. Look, this is fantastic. And this was the view of the app, screenshot that I put in. The only thing it doesn't do is actually it hasn't put the chart in there, but everything else is there. I can actually download the HTML code and actually click it and view it on another window, which is awesome. I can also say, go ahead, add a graph or basically a chart to one of my components, that is the overall sales component. And as soon as I click update, it's actually going to start creating. But it will say that to do this, you typically need a JavaScript library, which it is not doing because it's creating a Tailwind slash HTML code itself. Now here's another example where I took a Slido screenshot of a login page, and I actually put that screenshot in, and it started generating this code again. Look at this. I mean, in a few minutes it started to create this entire static website and the flow of what this needs to look like with HTML plus Tailwind. This is really awesome. Like, this is exactly what we had in the screenshot. Now this is a level up where we are actually taking a screenshot from my Twitter page, and I'm kind of posting everything here, and let's see how it looks. And again, I mean, this is moving so quickly. The result look amazing. The code is getting generated. It's awesome. And Taylor Peterson, who I follow, was one of the persons whose tweet was on there and started taking a screenshot of it. And the funny thing is, there was a chair that Ken had actually put out there, and it's interesting that it's starting to look for that image. It's actually understood what that image is. That's actually a chair, and actually generated a chair to match what was there in the screenshot. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is amazing. We did this in less than 5 minutes, put everything together. We can actually open this code in the Captain Anonymous sandbox and kind of play around with this. But again, it's fascinating that we can now do this with screenshot to code. And I'm just saying, this is the tip of the iceberg right now. Imagine what other people will be able to do and what we'll be able to do soon. So this is awesome. All right, so if this hasn't blown your mind, I don't know what will. Now, there are many things we can say about this, but the reality is that these projects are democratizing app development. Literally anyone with a vision can do this, and I just feel like this is the early stage, and think about where these projects will be in 1 year's time. Now, between all these three apps, all of them are individually really good. But when it comes to flexibility, I feel like TLDRAW allows you to kind of draw things the way you want, and it allows you to construct the components that you essentially want. When it comes to full web pages, it hasn't done a really good job, although in one of the examples, it really produced a great result. When it came to Trace.ai, I think it came down to the quality of the prompt that you inputted. If the prompt is great and if it's got clear structure to how you want the app to look like, then it actually produces a very usable app structure. And almost 80 to 90% of the app that you saw in the last example really worked well. And when it comes to screenshot to code, if it's basically the web app, right? So if you have the screenshot of whatever you want the app to look like, so say you make a Figma design, take a screenshot of the Figma design, bring that into screenshot to code, and just say, okay, produce a code for me, and it's going to produce this HTML code. However, it's not a React code. It's pretty stale and it's pretty static. So eventually you would want the app to be very dynamic, and you can actually bring it into GPT-4 and then say, okay, take this code, convert it into a dynamic app, and then again you have levels to this game. But what is stunning is that you can actually do all of these things that previously you couldn't do. I mean, you don't need any skills to build applications now natively, or you don't need to go to school and learn all of those things, because these AI apps are really intelligent and will help you kind of accelerate this process. If you're someone with an idea, you don't need a big team to build an MVP. You can do this in less than 15 minutes. Gone are the days where you had to do tedious coding and design optimizations. These tools make it easy for anyone to unleash their creativity and bring their digital dreams to life. And that's who you're going to become. All right, so that's a wrap. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more amazing content. You can also kind of follow me on Twitter, where I keep kind of posting regularly. And that's where you get some more real-time information. So until I see you again, stay true, stay consistent, and keep on designing. Have fun.